Today we will read another Greek myth. Today's read aloud is called Oedipus and the Riddle of the Sphinx. Let's meet the characters in today's read aloud. Many of the people that you will see in the images in today's read aloud are people from the great Greek city of Thebes, and they are called Thebans. You will hear about the Theban king, King Laius, who is no longer in the city of Thebes. The creature that you see on the rocks is the Sphinx, and it's a mythical beast. Look at this picture. The person talking to the Sphinx in this image is the man Oedipus. A riddle is a puzzling question to which people try to guess the answer. Riddles were popular among the ancient Greeks, and today's myth involves a riddle. Here are some vocabulary words in today's read aloud. The first word is encountering. Unexpectedly meeting, running into, or stumbling upon. Let's use this word in a sentence. As Ken ran his errands on Saturday, he kept encountering friends and neighbors at various stores. The next word is insisted. This means continue to order or demand something. Let's use this word in a sentence. Charles insisted that he pick out his own clothes every day. And the last word is posed. This means presented. Let's use this word in a sentence. Every Friday, Mrs. Fitz, the math teacher, posed a tricky problem to the class for them to solve over the weekend. Listen carefully to find out what the riddle is in this story. Let's begin. Long ago, one of the great Greek cities was called Thebes. At one point in its long history, on a towering rock overlooking the various roads into Thebes, there lived a horrible monster called the Sphinx. This Sphinx was not like the great stone statue in Egypt that stares out endlessly over the desert near the Great Pyramid. The Theban Sphinx, according to Greek myth, was no statue. She was a living beast. She did have a lion's body, like the Egyptian statue, but the Theban Sphinx had the face and neck of a human woman. She had wings so she could swoop down and attack anyone and could speak as humans do. It was she who posed the riddle. Whenever a traveler tried to enter or leave Thebes, that person knew the Sphinx would be waiting on her high rock. The monster would say, "I am going to eat you unless you can correctly answer this riddle. What is it that walks on 4 feet in the morning, on 2 feet at noon, and on 3 feet in the evening?" The poor traveler was often too frightened to even speak, and the cruel beast would strike with her sharp claws and teeth. Even if some clever person tried to answer the riddle, the Sphinx would always listen and then exclaim, "You have guessed wrong. Now I will eat you." No one knew why this terrifying creature had chosen to live on a rock above the road to Thebes, or why she insisted on posing this particular riddle. They knew only that she ate every person she met. Not only that, but no one from the outside would bring fresh food to the city for fear of encountering the monster. "If someone does not solve this riddle," the people told one another, "we will starve." As bad as this was, it was not the only problem the Thebans faced. Their king, King Laius, never returned from a journey he had taken far from home. So the person the Thebans had usually turned to for help was not there in their hour of danger. In this dreadful situation, you can imagine how surprised the guards were when they looked out from the city walls one day and saw a man nearing the gate. They did not recognize him, but they could see that he was tall and richly dressed. The captain of the guard said, "Maybe he will make it. I do not see the Sphinx anywhere, Perhaps she is off watching another road." But just as the captain was about to order the gate thrown open, down came the Sphinx like an arrow shot from the clouds above. She settled on her rock and looked down at the stranger with cold, pitiless eyes. "Traveler," said the monster, "today you have chosen the wrong road." The stranger boldly replied, "I choose my own roads and my own destinations. Today I will go to Thebes." Anger lit up the monster's eyes as she said, "I alone decide who travels this road. If I say no one travels this path, so it shall be. You have one chance and one chance only. You must correctly answer the riddle. Tell me, foolish man, what is it that walks on 4 feet in the morning, on 2 feet at noon, and on 3 feet in the evening?" The stranger sat down in the dust of the road to think. The Sphinx, sure Oedipus wouldn't guess it, gazed down at him, her tail twitching with impatience. After some time, she stopped even that movement. For half an hour, the man sat thinking as the huge beast lay still atop its rock. Meanwhile, the people of Thebes had rushed to the walls. They knew the man would probably not guess the riddle, but it had been so long since anyone had even tried, they had come to see him try. At last, the stranger rose to his feet. "Have you an answer?" demanded the Sphinx. In a strong, sure voice, the man repeated the riddle. "What is it that walks on 4 feet in the morning, on 2 feet at noon, and on 3 feet in the evening?" Then, staring straight into the Sphinx's eyes, he said, "The answer is man. As a baby in the morning of his life, he crawls on all 4s. At the noon of his life, when he is grown up and strong, he walks upright on 2 feet. In his old age, the evening of his time on the earth, he walks with the aid of a cane, as if on 3 feet." The Sphinx's eyes flew open in shock. The traveler had answered correctly. With a cry, the monster threw herself down from her high rock. The Sphinx was finally gone. With shouts of joy, the people of Thebes rushed down from their walls, threw open the gates, and poured out into the road. They lifted the stranger onto their shoulders and carried him into their city. There they asked, "Who are you, great hero? To whom do we owe our lives?" "I am Oedipus," he answered. "No," they replied, "not just Oedipus. You are now King Oedipus, master of the Sphinx and king of Thebes." So that is the story of how Oedipus answered a riddle and became a king. Let's take a look at some characteristics of this Greek myth. What does this myth try to explain? It tries to explain how someone answered a riddle and became a king. What mythical creature was in this myth? The Sphinx was the mythical creature. Were there any Greek gods and goddesses in this story? No, there were no Greek gods and goddesses in this story. Take a moment to discuss any insights into Greek culture that may have been explained in this myth. Here are some discussion questions. Feel free to pause the video in order to allow time to think and discuss. What riddle did you hear about in today's Read Aloud? What is the answer to this riddle? How would you explain the answer? Which character poses this riddle? What is a Sphinx according to Greek mythology? Is the Sphinx that lives on a towering rock overlooking the road to Thebes a god, a hero, or a supernatural creature? Why do you think the Sphinx insists on posing this particular riddle? Which traveler to Thebes is able to answer her riddle? Are the Thebans grateful to Oedipus? How do you know?